Good evening. I'm Ariel Elliott. I've been on the N Street Village Board since 2022, and I serve on the executive committee. I was introduced to the village through Bloomberg, which has a very strong culture of supporting volunteer work and giving back to the community. I got more personally involved when I started to volunteer by serving lunch to the women at N Street Village's flagship location.
And I'm Patrice Willoughby, Assistant Treasurer of the Board. I first heard about N Street Village from two friends, Sunny Alsop and Jane Fishkin, who were some of the co-founders of the N Street Village Ambassadors Council. When I walked to work, I saw too many unhoused people on the street, and I wanted to help. Once I understood the transformative power of the village, I wanted to be an active member of the community.
So Patrice and I have the honor of announcing the winner of tonight's raffle, 4 nights for 2 at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Turks and Caicos. Thank you to everyone who bid on this fabulous trip. And the lucky winner is Sang Lee.
Congratulations, Sang. Fortunately, our generous supporters ensured we had lots of other great items in the silent auction. And speaking of the auction, I have to pause a moment to say thank you to Peggy Sparks, Sarah Conrad, and Jeannie Specchio. They did incredible work in leading us in securing these amazing items.
If you had the winning bid on an item, you should have gotten a text. Congratulations if you did win. And before you leave this evening, please remember to check out and collect your items right outside the ballroom at Salon 15.
Tonight and throughout the year, we see firsthand the power of your support. And in a bit, you'll have another opportunity to support N Street Village. We'll have more on that later. But first, we'd like to invite Peter back to the stage.
So it's a real privilege to introduce our newest leader at the village. She's a new CEO who is not new to the village at all. Portia and her husband Joe began volunteering at the night shelter over 30 years ago when they were a young couple attending Luther Place Memorial Church, who founded N Street 50 years ago. Portia, Joe, and their 2 sons, Chase and Cole, have been all in and involved in N Street over the boys, the entire life of their sons, and Portia and Joe for the past 30 years. So, round of applause, please. Portia. Portia then began her board service 9 years ago. Professionally, Portia has a wealth of experience to bring to this role. She's a strategic leader. She's worked in the for-profit, media, and nonprofit sectors. And Portia has always spent time mentoring and coaching those in her orbit at each job. This is a powerful combination of skills for a nonprofit leader. We are grateful for her contributions on the board over many years, and all of us on the board are thrilled that Portia has agreed to lead and assume the village CEO role at this time. Personally, she's a great friend to many of us by now. We admire her. We think the world of her. She might be celebrating a milestone birthday tomorrow. So feel free to wish her a happy birthday and a well-deserved happy vacation with Joe in about a week's time. Please join me in welcoming our newest CEO, Portia Robertson Migas.
everyone, and thank you, Peter, for that very kind introduction. Your words of support and encouragement mean a great deal to me. I'm deeply, deeply grateful for the opportunity to address you all today as we gather to celebrate the incredible work of N Street Village and the transformative impact it has on the lives of the women experiencing homelessness in Washington, D.C. As Peter said, N Street Village has held a special place in our hearts for more than 3 decades. It's when, from many different capacities over the last 30 years, I've witnessed firsthand the profound difference our collective efforts make in the lives of the women we serve and the difference we make in our community. I want to share a story of how one N Street Village resident, her name was Patricia, she touched our lives. I first met Patricia at the N Street Village overnight shelter, and she subsequently moved to one of N Street Village's 8 locations, Miriam's House. Miriam's House provides supportive housing for women living with HIV. But when Pat moved there in the mid-90s, most of the women at Miriam's House went there to wind down their lives in a place where they could receive loving care. Essentially, they went there to die. But I want to talk to you about how Pat lived. She loved to sing, and she had an irrepressible smile. She was kind, thoughtful, and caring. And in 1996, when I was pregnant with my first child, Pat presented me with a gift. Pat made this little quilt for the baby I was expecting. That baby turned 28 years old. That's Chase, a few days ago. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around how Pat, a person with so few material resources, how she could be so generous. Despite her circumstances, she radiated joy and she radiated kindness. Patricia's story is just one of many that illustrate the profound impact of N Street Village. There are women in this room tonight who've been equally kind to me. Shout out to the ambassadors of praise back there. Their actions are a testament to the resilience and the strength of the women we serve, and a reminder that even in the face of adversity, hope and compassion prevail. Over the past 50-plus years, N Street Village has evolved to meet the changing needs of women experiencing homelessness in our community. Our strategic goals remain consistent, driven by a commitment to provide shelter, housing, and supportive services that empower women to rebuild their lives with dignity and with respect. We are fortunate to have tremendous private support as well as public partnerships with our government here in DC and the federal government. As we adjust our strategies and services to address emerging challenges, we remain guided by a few key principles. First, we believe in the power of amplifying the voices of those affected, the women we serve, to drive the creation of solutions. Secondly, we recognize that our impact is strengthened by the collective investment and accountability of all stakeholders. One of the critical areas we're focusing on is the intersection of aging and homelessness. Studies suggest that current models of permanent supportive housing are insufficient in addressing the unique needs of aging homeless populations. That's why we're investigating ways to integrate N Street Village's affordable housing with geriatric-focused care. Through partnerships and collaborations, we aim to develop best practices that can be scaled and replicated. Additionally, we're taking strides to address the mental health vulnerabilities of unhoused women, recognizing that mental health is often the root cause of homelessness. We want to provide intensive behavioral health support to ensure our clients are better able to obtain and maintain safe and stable housing. But our work doesn't stop there. We're also focusing on literacy initiatives. As many of you know, N Street Village has a rich history of educational programming. You heard Peter mention early that our women performed at the Kennedy Center. So the residents, village residents, wrote about some of their harrowing experiences, and the resulting play, How I Got Over, was performed at the Kennedy Center, and it later became a compelling documentary film. We are fortunate to have the Marge and Mack Empowerment Center, which helps residents with job-focused literacy, and N Street Village Working Group, which includes Chief Program Officer Leora, Braden, Ibrahim, and members of the board. Cindy, Aaron's one of those. We have Amy Lear-Wright, who's working on it. Also Ruth. The process, we're working to develop additional programming, and the process will involve listening to the women in our community and tailoring programming that responds to their needs. In closing, I want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you for supporting our mission to end homelessness among women. Your support fuels our efforts and inspires us to keep pushing forward. With your support, we can make a difference and create a future where every woman has the opportunity to thrive. With your support, we can create real and lasting change. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Terrell. I'm a part of Interim Village Flagship Program. I've been here for a year and a couple of months. I have ADHD and bipolar 2, which also shows that I'm loud, outgoing, bubbly. Like my mood swings are up and down. So I can either be sad one moment, happy another moment, upset another moment. But me, I'm always a bubbly person. I learned about N Street Village through Patricia Hanley Women's Shelter. Their staff was amazing. Like, they taught me that, even though I'm going through my struggles, there's always someone there I can always talk to, whether it's I'm having a good day, bad day, sad day, happy day, upset day. Like, they always taught me that I always have some support there when I needed the support. N Street Village staff motivated me and showed me that I can overcome my obstacles. My hopes for the future is to be able to maintain a job, maintain my mental health, which is being on my medication, dealing with my mental health, and also just being bubbly, Y'all show that someone cares and someone is there, and that y'all give someone the love and compassion that someone needs and put a smile on everybody's faces.
My name is Faith Strong, and I'm a part of the Step Up program with Rapid Rehousing. I grew up around Trinidad in Washington, D.C. in the Northeast area. I was raised by my grandparents because my mother had an addiction problem. After my grandmother had died, my aunt raised us, and then I had basically nowhere to go. So I was on the streets. I went from house to house, well, basically friend to friend house. Before coming to N Street Village, my life was hectic. It was crazy. I first met Miss Pamela Wells when they told me who my caseworker was, that I was connected to, that was going to be the person that helped me find my apartment, the person that if I needed anything, that she'll be the go-to person for me. There were things that I needed, and she was like a go-to person for me, somebody that I felt good enough to be like vulnerable enough, and she was like a safe place. My biggest challenge that I had to overcome was forgiving myself and not blaming myself for the things that my mother did to me. But being able to get to a place of forgiveness, it let me know that like it's okay. Like, your mother wasn't the person that you needed to be for whatever reason. And thank you for just being the person you are, the caseworkers that you are, the workers, the assistants, the whatever part of the role you play at Interim Village. We appreciate you.
My name is India Frazier, and my connection with In Street Village is that I came through the recovery house, and from the recovery house, I went into the transition independent living, and that's where I'm at. I had a thing for the streets, hanging out in the streets and trying to be curious about that and this and that, What led me to In Street Village was my judge. I came here straight from DC jail. Depression played a big part of everything. I lost my daughter 10 years ago. She died in my arms. Took her last breath in my arms. That crushed me and had pushed me to the point of insanity. The biggest challenge that I had to overcome was the courage to change. Did I have enough courage in me to change? Did I really want to change? Did I really want to be this person that they say I can be? I'm most proud of recovery because it's easy to fall back. And it's hard to keep going, but I have people in place in my life today where I didn't have them at one time I can go to and talk to. Can we try this route? Can we try that route? In Street placed those people in my life. Good people here. Thank you for holding on to me, and thank you for pushing me on through.
Thank you for not giving up when I know that was the easy way out. Thank you for sticking in and trusting us and allowing us to come into your world.
Everybody deserves a second chance, and I was in need of a second chance when I walked through those doors, and they gave it to me. In Street Village is a place where you could call home.
The video and the words from these three women are a powerful reminder of why I do what I do. It's a reminder of why we all do what we can to support the mission of In Street Village. Good evening. My name is Leora Braden Ibrahim, and I am the Chief Program Officer at In Street Village. Thank you. It's in that capacity that I am responsible for implementing comprehensive and compassionate programs that address the complex needs of the women we serve. My responsibilities include ensuring provision of trauma-informed care, holistic supportive services, and access to resources that promote healing, recovery, and empowerment for everyone within our community. I'm excited about the client-centered approach In Street Village is taking to promote literacy. I'm excited about the strategic way we are investigating and evaluating the most effective supportive services we can deploy to address the needs of our aging population. I'm excited about tackling mental health issues, the root cause that pushes far too many women into homelessness. Tonight, I'm especially excited and honored to present the Steinbruck Award to three incredible women who have faced adversity, conquered personal challenges, and triumphed over hardships. In every hurdle, they found resilience, and in every setback, they discovered their own power. Their strength knows no bounds, and their courage lights the path for others. Please give a round of applause to our 2024 Steinbruck recipients.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tiffany Terrell, and I would like to read a little bit about myself. At Interim Village, people know for my perky personality. It's something everybody loves about myself now. I came to the village a year ago through the Patricia Henry Emergency Shelter. Now I live in one of the permanent supportive housing programs at the flagship location. I know that I'm very bubbly, and the people here, they love my bubbly personality. They love me like they love my smile. And they love when I wake up in the morning and they hear my voice. Everybody knows when I come downstairs, I brighten up everybody's day. I like when people like me for who I am. I didn't always see myself in a positive way. People complained that I was too loud. I don't mean to be loud, but I have ADHD and bipolar 2, which is managed by medication. Growing up, my family didn't understand my mental health issues. In school, I was often suspended for behavioral health issues and frequently anger outbursts from traumatic experience from my childhood. Growing up, I moved from this program to that program for my behaviors. It's been difficult, and my family don't understand that me not having the support of my family is hard for me. My mother has her own challenges with substance use disorder, and last summer I lost my mother's mother. I was particularly close to my grandmother, and I miss her deeply. But I keep my grandmother in my thoughts as source of inspiration. Over the past year, I worked hard to overcome my anger and negative attitude. If my grandmother was here, she'd be like, "Symphony, I am so proud of you." The support I received from the village community has been important to my growth. They help you with a lot of things. As far as your mental health is concerned, I can go to staff and actually say what I'm feeling, and they understand. It's a very understanding community. Thank you to everyone at Interim Village who helped me on my journey.
Good evening. I would like to share with you a poem that I wrote. My story is called "Don't Count Me Out." Life didn't come so easy for me. Being raised by my grandparents who didn't have it all together but figured it out. Let's take a trip down memory lane. I was born to a mother who was on drugs, crack cocaine to be exact. She had addiction so bad, she even did drugs while I was in the womb. She was about to sell me to someone for drugs until my aunt and grandmother went to court and got full custody of me. Imagine yearning for a mother for years, and she was nowhere to be found. When did she come around? She had gifts to buy, our love. My grandmother was my everything. She taught me all that I needed to know. When she passed, that's when life really began. My aunt continued to raise me and my siblings. I graduated high school, but I dropped out of college because it was too expensive. I became homeless with nowhere to go. I was hopping from house to house. My sister and I slept on the street for days. We decided to go to my mother's house. It was good in the beginning. The drugs took over her. Watching her do drugs and seeing different men come in and out the house and use her for drugs took a toll on me. I asked myself, does she really love me? Finally, I signed up for a program that transformed my whole life. I went from having low self-esteem, being mentally abused by a mother, to now loving who I am. I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision to get out the house and keep going and never give up on myself. I went from transition housing to my own apartment. I went from living paycheck to paycheck to having a nice salary job. I went from not battling identity issues to knowing who I am. I went from having anger issues to be able to speak up on what's bothering me. I went from facing abandonment issues to knowing how to set boundaries. I went from second-guessing myself to having self-confidence and loving the person I am meant to be. This program gave me the resources I needed when it was coming to making money and knowing how to budget. It gave me a place where I felt safe enough to be vulnerable and open enough to share my thoughts, the things I was battling in life. I thank God, Street Village, and the staff that supported me through this journey. This is just the beginning. I'm not done yet. I haven't given up on myself. I can't wait for what the future holds. Thank you.
Well, the buck stops here. Good evening to everyone, and thank you for honoring me today, as well as my fellow honorees. Thank you. I came to N Street directly from DC jail. The day that Sangeeta Joshi came to interview me for placement in the N Street Recovery House, little did she know I was interviewing her as well, to see if it was the right fit for me. As we talked, I became more intrigued by the program. As I sat and listened to how N Street would help me to get my life back together, I quickly said yes, and Sangeeta started my paperwork. Before coming to N Street, I was on the streets living a life that I knew God had not intended for me to live. God had blessed me as I grew up. I was an outstanding girls basketball player in high school. I was an all-Met, all-American player and graduate from H.D. Woodson Senior High School. And I went on to college on a full scholarship. But then I got lost in the street life until 5 years ago. As I entered N Street, I was instantly shown concern, understanding, care, and most of all, love. The sisters in the program, and my sisters, they all around, the sisters in the program were all striving to live a better life, and I wanted that as well. The main question I kept asking myself was whether I had the courage to change. And although I am not perfect, I started to learn who I really was. As I let go of the trash and allowed myself to be filled with peace of mind, purpose, and tools that were needed to continue my journey, I embraced the change. I knew right then that God was with me every step of the way, and He wasn't finished with me yet. He had placed angels along my path to hold me up when I stumbled. Even though there were times I felt like I had no one to look to, I looked into my heart, and I knew there were people there for me, such as my N Street family, my sister Nicole, my grandson, who is my heart, Kazir, my uncles, but most of all, my God. In accepting this award, I would like to dedicate it to my daughter, Indira Frazier, who passed away 10 years ago. Thank you all again, and congratulations again to my fellow honorees. But please continue to do what you can for N Street. There are a lot of women out here that are in need of a second chance in life, of a new way to live, or just the beginning of life. Thank you again.
Okay, so you're all wondering who's the guy that got the rotten job of following Symphony and India and Faith. That's me. I'm Tim Shriver. I'm here because my wife, Linda Potter, is on the board, and you'll see her and other members of the board, but I'm grateful for Linda and her example. I'm also here because of my sister, Ruth, is the vice chair of the board. Yes, she is my sister. I just claim her, and you just have to go with it. And you also may know that Linda and Ruth are the co-chairs of the Peter and Ace fan club. And I gather that there are other, I'm a member, but I don't compete for co-chair with Linda and Ruth. But I gather many others here are newbies ready to be initiated into the Peter and Ace fan club. If you're ready to join, okay. The membership is $5,000 a person, so thank you for that. I'm actually, though, really here in some ways, especially after listening to our Steinbruck Award winners, as a follower. I think it's worth noticing here that so much of what we've talked about tonight is the ways in which the village has empowered and continues to do good things for these women and for these awardees. But I want to offer a slightly different twist. I'm here because I want to show my debt to these women as a follower of theirs. I hear everywhere I go, who do we look up to these days? There's so much despair in the country. And I say I would look up to India and Symphony. I would look up to these women as the leaders that show us how to overcome division and work in solidarity. People say, where are the leaders? You know, I tuned in last night. I can't stand our political situation. It's all about acrimony and dehumanization. And then we come here tonight and you see people who are in the midst of despair, and what do? They light a candle. You know, they don't pause and bemoan and accuse and demonize. So we're all here in a way because we're so indebted to these women for the example they're showing for us. It's not a gift we're giving to a charity for, it's a movement with. And I want to invite us to think about what it would look like. Now, I know not everybody has huge treasure, but they say the country is about, there's like 98% that are down here, and then there's like 2% that are up here. And some people in here are in that like 2%. Everybody that just laughed is in the 2% because they're nervous. But I want you to think about what it would look like if you saw yourself as a follower of these women. You know, if you imagine Dr. King at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, he gives a great speech, he inspires, but if there's not 1 million people out there following him, there's no civil rights movement. These women have stood up here and given their hearts to you. They've asked you, do you have the courage to change? Not do you have the courage to help other people change, but do we have the courage to follow them? Okay? So we're being asked to join the movement. I hear of N Street as an organization, as a community. To me, it feels like a movement. And tonight, I want to invite you to join a movement. And when you're in a movement, here's what you got to do. You got to put your feet on the ground, you got to put your shoulder to the plow, and you got to get your treasure from your back pocket into the movement. So take out your phones right now. Take out your phones. Everybody check your email just for a second. Check your email. Go ahead, Ace. Check your phone. You might have a text. You might have a text in there in that phone of yours. Now, if you do, and if you don't, that means you didn't register, so go out and register. You try to get in for free because somebody gave you a free ticket. That's not going to work tonight. Don't be looking at me. Take out your phone. So take out your phones. Some would say I have the worst job here. I think it's a great job because I get to invite each of us to take out our phones. And right now we're going to do a little fun game here where you get the text message. Does anybody have the text message? Raise your hand if you have the text message. Okay, the rest of you all are lying because you all have it. So take out your phones and look at the text message. Now, the first thing you're thinking is, well, I don't want to give right now because it's registered to my credit card. That's not a good excuse. It's not going to get charged to your credit card. You can write a check tomorrow. You can send your foundation person to call next week. All you have to do tonight is push donate. And then you put a number in. And the number matters, but donating matters more. And I'm competitive, and we did this last year. We got a pretty good number. Oh, we're already at 43,000. That's good. We're gonna beat the record. But we need everybody. If it's $5, put in $5 because you're in a movement. And if you don't have the courage to change, put in $50 because you need to come back and get another dose. Right? And if you don't know what it's like to feel despair and light a candle, put in $5,000 because that'll give you the strength to learn more and more from these women. And yes, 50. We hit 50. Okay. So yeah. Okay. That's just starting. Come on now. Just keep checking your email. Put more in because we got a $50,000 one-for-one match for every dollar. For every dollar from here on up. So if you already gave $1,000, go back in and give another. That one's going to get matched. Why? I'm not kidding, Hillary. Come on, take out your phone. I know you've given already, but you have to take out your phone. We need more. Okay, here's what they want me to tell you. That's not what I'm saying. Wait a minute. Here's what I'm supposed to say. If you give, look at this. If you give $25,000, okay, now we're warming up. If you give $25,000, here's what it says. You do a lot of services. I'm saying you empower 50 women leaders for $25,000. Now, how many people give that to their school and their college? Your college doesn't need it. This organization needs it because you want 50 women to lead this city, lead your family, bring them to your church, your place of worship, bring them to your kids' school, bring them to your civic organization. Get 50 new leaders empowered by giving $25,000. Come on, let's keep going. Look at all those names. See, your name's only up there for a second. But if you give again, it comes up again. I can't make it stop, so you just have to keep giving. Okay, you're saying 25 is too much. $10,000, just $10,000. That's 40 women to become healthy leaders. You're looking at me like you're bored. I'm not done. You gotta join me. $10,000 empowers 40 new leaders. If you've only got $1,000, what's $1,000? One meal a day for a year. 370 meals. Now, everybody here buys 3 meals a day. What? What happened? Did you just give another 50,000? Stand up. What's your name, sir? What's your name? You gave 50,000. Did you give 50? No, he didn't give 50,000. But even everybody here can give. Wouldn't you say if someone called you tomorrow morning and said, would you give 1 meal today for a leader? Amen. Amen. She said, my sister said amen. Can I hear an amen? Okay. 179. We got to get to 200 now. Come on. Everybody add $1,000. Just one. I know you say that's a lot. 500 then. I'll compromise. 500 is 1 meal a day. Who's going to go tomorrow without a meal because you don't have enough? How many people? Raise your hand if you don't have enough money for 3 meals a day tomorrow. Nobody in this room. And everybody in this room is generous enough to see. I don't mean to be berating you because you're all generous. I don't mean to be negative. But I do want to say that if you've sat through this tonight as I have, and you've committed yourself to being, you're trying to get me off the stage. I get it. Okay. My final job is to introduce 183. Should I stay up here a little longer? Come on! Come on! You want me to dance? What else do I have to do? Peggy, come on up here. Peggy has offered the last $15,000 givers. Oh, look at this. Come on. Everybody gets whatever poster, famous artist, Rembrandt, Chagall, you name it. You want a great poster? If you give $1,000 for the home stretch here, I'm going to look at the names. Diana, you get any poster you want. Peggy's going to get it for you, right? Am I right? Come on, let's see some more names. Natalie, you get a free poster. Home stretch, Ray, come on. Brent, Natalie, who else? Sang Lee, you get a free poster. Jamila, Andre, Lauren, Andre again. Jamila, did you do 2 gifts? Come on, come on. Don't be staring at me. Just give one more time. Just click the button. You can give it next week. 189, come on, come on. Come on, come on, let's bring it home. 7, there we go. Yes, $5. Yes, yes. Count it down. Ruth, you might have to help me out here. Come on. Linda, don't put your, oh, Philip's up there. Philip, what artist do you like? I didn't hear that. Okay, I think we're gonna make it without me making more noise and making more trouble. I wanna thank you all. Thank you, 195, Cassidy. Eileen, come on, bring it home. Bring it home. Come on. Eileen, don't leave Eileen hanging. She's there by herself. Peter, oh, there she goes. She's moved up. Cassidy again? And come on, 196. What do I have to do? What do I have to do? 197. Come on, come on. Yeah!
As they're walking up on stage, I'll just say a few words. I'm Peggy Sparks, the Secretary of N Street Board. Woo! I want to just thank you so much today for taking the time for joining us to celebrate this event. Thank you to Tim again, my goodness, $200,000. Woo! I just want to reiterate that every dollar you gave today matters. It really is going to a cause that we believe in. And in the village, there's one really important thing. We don't just believe in what you do, but how you do it. We call it the N Street way, which is not only to provide these services, but to do them with empathy, to do them in an atmosphere of dignity and respect. If you're inspired to be involved in the village, you can join us as board members. You can also volunteer. You can give. Keep pressing those buttons. But I do encourage you to come to the village, to meet our amazing staff, to take a tour. In 2017, Peter invited me to do this tour, and as you can tell, you know, what do you say? You can check out, but you can never leave. That's what's happened. Whether helping at dinner gatherings organized by the Ambassadors Council or leading an art project, there are so many ways to help the women in this village. No matter what your background or your profession, you too can become involved. Please make sure to take your Gala program with you because it shows you how you can help or volunteer at the village. I want to introduce to you the board of N Street Village.
Look at this board. Thank all of you. You guys.
Incredible night.
First of all, we just want to look around. We said last year that we have a lot of next generation and next generation village leaders here, and we see even more as we look around. It's these folks' kids, it's Portia's kids, Ruth's kids, Hillary's daughters here. It means a lot. So a round of applause for all the young folks caring.
Yes.
And thanks to all of you tonight. We want to get this over before the State of the Union starts. But so the drum roll. Thank you, board. Thank you, supporters. Everyone who bought a table. And the drum roll, we've raised an amazing $2,035,500.
absolutely fantastic. Thank you, guys. And thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for your continued investment and support of the women of N Street Village. We're done. We can't think of a better way to embrace the spirit of the evening than to hear the voice of Lisa Winans singing Best of My Love. Thank you, Lisa, for this special performance. So the board's going to exit, and Lisa's going to come on and sing us out of here tonight. Thank you again so much.
What a night. This is amazing. Amazing. I love this song because I feel like it represents the N Street Village community. When we compassionately show up for one another, we are truly giving the best of our love. So I hope you all will sing with me. This is an audience participation sort of situation, all right? We put our hands together. Doesn't take much to make me happy and make me smile with glee. Never ever did I feel discouraged, 'cause the love's no mystery. Demonstrating sweet love and affection that you give so openly. I love the way you make me feel about you, baby. Want the whole wide world to see. Oh, oh, you got the best of my love. Oh, oh, you got the best of my love. Oh, oh, you got the best of my love. Oh, oh, you got the best of my love. Going in and out of changes. Hey, that can come around each day. My life has a better meaning. Love has touched me in a beautiful way. And my love, my love. Oh, my love, my love. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you got the best of my love. Oh, oh, you got the best of my love. Oh, oh, you got the best of my love. Oh, oh, you got the best of my love. Demonstrating love and affection that can come around each day. My life has a better meaning. Love has touched me in a beautiful way. And oh, you're all I need. My love, my love. Ooh, oh, you're all I need. My love, my love. Oh, giving you the best of my love. You got the best of my love. Oh, giving you the best of my love. You got the best of my love. Oh, giving you the best of my love. You got the best of my love. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you guys.
Have a wonderful night and see you next year.